Okay. Alright, what do I have for this week? Let me see. Okay. Exploring art. Yeah. I already did that. I already did my stuff. Oh yeah, okay. Wedding anniversary. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Well, okay. I'll have to plan that out. Okay. Oh. Maybe I did think I forgot something. Hello there.
Oh, hey, Jackson. What?
Who are you?
Jackson, come on. You don't remember me?
I'll have to think about that one.
Is it? Oh, well, I did get a shave.
I think maybe it's the mustache.
I think it's the shave, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, bud.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh. What's going on?
I think what I forgot was the movie review that we're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, we said we were going to do a movie review, like...
I don't know, maybe half a year ago?
Right.
And then we kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Whoops! Sorry, guys.
Better late than never, they
Hey,
say.
we're back.
Yep.
And we're still unprofessional as ever. So, yeah, I mean, it's still the same setup. I mean,
Yeah.
really. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
pretty
us two talking. But,
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Is this the part where we talk about, like, what we've been up to?
Yeah, I think what we had, like, before was our, I think it was called, from what I can remember, is a quick catch-up, maybe? I think it was called the quick catch-up.
Yeah. Let's not do that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to catch up on. And it's not going to be quick.
It was never quick.
It was
So.
never quick.
I think that was the joke. So, basically, we're doing okay. That's our quick catch-up.
Yep.
There you go.
We're back.
Quick catch-up. Now we got it.
Yeah.
So this is our return episode.
Yeah. Boy, what an episode we have for you today.
Yeah, that's it. What an episode.
Yep. We've been planning this for so long.
Yeah, there was totally not an original film we had.
We had like meetings and like, full on points.
Yeah, we put up PowerPoints.
Yeah.
We had an Excel sheet open that was not used.
Yeah, and it was all put onto this one flash drive that got lost.
Yeah, so we're like, you know what we should do instead? A movie that we just saw.
In theaters.
Yep. Which movie's that?
How to Train Your Dragon, the live action.
Live action!
Yeah! So, Jackson.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you saw this movie?
Well, Tuesday is when we saw it, so it's about... Well, I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so, 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
from our recording, what we're doing right now, it's been 3 days.
For me, it's been 1 day. I saw it on Thursday.
I think it's been very fresh in our memories.
Yeah!
If it's in the week, it's pretty fresh.
That's pretty fresh considering. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is, if you guys haven't already told
maybe
the title.
We'll dust off some of the, off your brains here.
This is a good intro,
but we're drinking dried.
We are drinking dried.
We started this thing with an idea.
Well...
And, sometimes that idea is great. Sometimes you're like, all right, let's do other things too. And you do other things, and then you kind of just
didn't really
disappear
take off.
after.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it didn't take off,
it's fine.
It's fine. But we're back now.
We're back because we still love the cinema.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Which we should have put that sign up there in the back.
Oh, god damn.
So
all right,
that'll be next time. So
next
just
time
wait.
we'll do better.
So this is a good return.
That's been the one thing that we're like, we're gonna do better.
We're gonna do better.
Someday we're gonna do better.
Then we don't. So
someday is still, if not today, tomorrow. But there's always gonna be
one day we may record a decent podcast, but it is not this day.
I don't have the right mustache for that. I can't be doing those types of speeches.
That's true, actually. Okay. So today we're gonna be talking about How to Train Your Dragon, live action, which we'll probably end up talking about the original as well, because
A little bit of
it's
compounded,
literally the same story.
Yeah, little compounded. Spoilers.
I just said it's the same story. Like it's alive.
Listen, we don't know how many people have seen it up to this point. All right, it's only Friday.
That's true.
At the time of this recording.
Well, yeah. We'll see how quick I can get it out.
Yeah, that's true.
And, but today, since we are drinking dried, if you want to get
right.
the stuff ready,
Let's get the stuff ready. All right.
we have for you guys. Actually, you got me these couple of Viking cups.
We
some
have
Nordic runes on here. It's very, very cool.
and we have definitely not sponsored beer. So we're gonna use that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do. Do you want to do the thing?
Sure.
Yeah, you do.
Sure. So we'll take this Viking horn right here that I have in front of us here.
Yeah.
It's a bottle opener here.
Nothing like showing YouTube how we drink.
Well, it is drinking dry.
It is drinking dry.
And
this is kind of what we do. So
I mean, we're a small enough podcast that we
doesn't
don't have to worry
don't
about
worry
it.
about it.
So
Until
there's
at one point we reach a point where we're like, that's crazy. You just can't have that anymore.
you can't do that. Oh, okay. Thanks for monetization.
Hit that like button, right?
Yeah, right. And subscribe.
And subscribe. we gotta fulfill our quota for the eldritch god that is YouTube.
Yeah. Just be careful. They're very picky with their rules.
God, yes. You buddy.
There you go.
Another. It's so boobly.
Yeah, originally we did have a different movie plan, but we're like, you know what? We both saw this How to Train Your Dragon
yeah, like in the same
recently,
week.
and we're like, yeah, let's just do that instead.
Yeah. So you saw it
with my wife and her family.
Yeah.
Basically, as like a Father's Day thing. She basically bought her dad and her mom's ticket for the movie, and then
happy
invited
belated Father's Day to all the daddies out there doing your daddy things.
dad duties.
Dad, call it daddy.
Yes, but it was pretty fun, and my wife and I absolutely loved it. And we'll get into like what we really, really enjoyed, later on, basically. So
I watched it with my sister.
yeah, well, still that's family. So
Yeah.
hey,
Salute to family.
hey, there you go. It's a family. Just like a big Viking horn.
Familia.
So
All right. So, Jackson, it has been a while. What's our format?
well, our format kind of goes that we kind of summarize the movie.
Right.
Basically like what the movie's all about in a very condensed version, I guess, like the best that we can.
We do our best, like, cliff notes, you know?
Yeah, kind of cliff notes of like, okay, what's this character about? Why did they do this? But also kind of, get the whole story out of the way. So, do you remember kind of like the beginning of what How to Train Your Dragon is?
Enter main protagonist. Hiccup.
Yeah.
He's just your average... You're just your average Viking... just your average would-be Viking trying to make a name for himself. Make his daddy proud. Like we all do. Yeah, you're going to just do that the entire time? Is that going to be the bit?
No.
And they live in this island, nice, very scenic, really great looking spot.
Burke.
Yeah, Burke. It's an island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Burke.
Island of Burke.
The island of Burke, and everything would be great, if it weren't for the dragons. So yeah, they get raided by dragons a lot, and Vikings, they fight dragons.
Yeah, naturally.
And
that's how history tells us.
Yes. So yeah, these guys are basically kind of like using this island as a sort of like offensive point to find the fabled nest of dragons, and Hiccup is just trying to fit in. He wants to be like
Everybody else.
Like everybody else. Like he wants to make his dad proud. His dad being the chieftain of Burke, one stoic, the Vast, I believe his name was.
I think so.
Yeah. I
just
saw this yesterday, so I should know.
I remember stoic, like specifically.
Legend has it that when he was born, he popped the head off of a dragon.
Yeah.
That he's just that hardcore and badass. And
that's what Hiccup has to kind of like live up to.
So he's got some major boots to fill right there. Yeah, and he's he's like a little string bean, little gangly, little not like your traditional Viking, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to like kind of come up with like these ideas of like how best to kind of like do his part in the Viking community of Burke, and people kind of just like, all right, you need to stop doing.
He's kind of like, yeah. You don't do this.
This.
Like, you just pointed to all of me. They're like,
yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You gotta stop being.
Yeah, pretty much. He's kind of like the what is it? Something. What's it called? The runt of the litter. I think it is. Like that's kind of like what it's called, because like
pretty much
all of the other Vikings are very like battle ready, and they're all like super like involved in like warfare, and he's just kind of like, I'm just here. He's just, I don't know, what do I do? Like this awkward teenager, basically. So
yeah, so imagine being an awkward teenager
in a Viking
village that hunts and kills dragons, and also your dad's like
the chieftain,
the coolest guy, right? He's just man in charge, first one in, last one out, just like lopping off heads.
Yeah.
Right?
That's Hiccup's position, basically.
And yeah, he's got to live up to that. So,
And he's also basically...
Good times.
Yeah. And he also has a humongous crush on a girl called Astrid.
Astrid, who is basically like the badass, like the next, great thing.
Could be the next chieftain.
Could be the next chieftain in their generation of, Vikings to be, upcoming kids. We also meet the rest of the group.
Yeah.
We meet Fish Legs.
Yep.
Snot Lout.
Yep.
The twins.
I forget the
Rough
twins.
Nut and Tough Nut.
There you go. There you go.
I don't remember names.
Yep.
And Astrid and Hiccup, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty much
it. Yeah.
Everything there.
But
yeah, after the dragon raid, Hiccup's kind of like, okay, well, dang, like I kind of messed up. But
during the raid, he manages to do the impossible. So there is a fabled dragon that none of the Vikings have ever captured. They've gotten, like, the nipple back. They got the Gronkler. They got the monstrous nightmare. I know that one.
That was the first dragon. Okay, here's what we got. The Nippleback. Whoa.
Well, it was that or Nickelback, right?
Nickelback's the band, but yeah.
We're gonna. This is what we got. And the Terrible Terror. I remember that one.
Yeah.
There's the two-headed one, which I forgot. But none of them have ever captured the fabled Night Fury, who is this unholy, union of lightning and dragon or something like that.
I think it was Union of Lightning and Flame?
Something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, and Hiccup managed to actually down one.
Yeah, on accident.
On accident, as you do. And he's like, hey, I did this thing. And everybody's like, no, you didn't. Because no, you're Hiccup. This isn't believable at all.
No one's going to believe him.
Nobody's going to believe him. Yeah. His dad doesn't even believe him, which is a little sad.
He literally brushes him off. He's just like, okay, that's enough of your
basically
stories.
Go back home. Just try sharpening swords and do not go out and cause more troubles. Because on top of being an awkward teen, living under the shadow of his dad, has a massive crush on a girl that's never going to notice him.
Yeah.
He's also clumsy as hell.
Very
clumsy.
So,
yeah. Manages to hit it, though.
Yeah, he does, actually.
And after having that discussion with his dad, basically saying, stay home, don't cause trouble, as any teenager does, doesn't listen to parents, goes off to find the Night Fury.
And he does. He does find the Night Fury. And he sees that the Night Fury basically trapped inside of this, I guess, like natural enclosure where it's just cliff sides around it, and then a little pool in the center.
Like a large recession.
Or no, actually, no, wait, no. He finds
just
the Night
woods,
Fury kind of in the woods, and he's just he's gonna kill it because he's a Viking. He's supposed to kill dragons.
dragons, yeah.
And
that's,
so
that's what we're all about. We're Vikings.
And so of course he's gonna kill the dragon, and the dragon kind of looks at him, and then he just kind of closes his eyes, and he's
just like accepting whatever comes next. Right?
Yeah, he's defeated, and then Hiccup basically is just like he sees himself in the dragon, and he's just like, you know what?
You're just a scared kid.
You're
like
just
me.
Yeah, he's just another scared. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and he's just like, okay, I won't do that, and then he cuts the like the strings and the ropes that were part of the trap.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon basically escapes, but then he falls into that enclosure that I was talking about with the cliffs and the pool.
Now, why did he fall into an enclosure? He's a dragon. He's got wings. He can fly. What happened?
Exactly, because when he got caught with the trap, part of the dragon's back tail, I guess you could say, part of like the back,
Like a tail flap.
like a flap, yeah, tail flap, basically is not there.
Yeah.
So the balance is all off, and so the dragon can't fly correctly because the balance is all off because the wings, the back wing is not there, pretty much. Like the back tail wing is not there. So.
What I think is like it's some sort of like thing that he uses to like stabilize himself.
Or like stabilize. Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you took, I imagine like some sort of big, like a cheetah or something. You lopped off their tail, that thing that they use for like balance.
Right. Yeah.
Those things going fast.
It's just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's basically what
assume.
happens. That's what happens with the dragons because he can't climb, he can't fly, all off kilter basically.
Yeah.
Hiccup sees this and he actually feels bad for the dragon because he's trapped there now. So
Yeah.
and he's like, what should I do with this dragon now? Because my dad is basically like this big Viking guy that kills dragons. I'm the guy that let a dragon loose because I felt bad for the dragon. So instead, I think he ends up going to a dragon slaying training with the
Basically,
other kids.
after that whole
After
experience
that whole fiasco,
of like letting the dragon loose and being like, oh, I can't kill it.
I can't kill it. He goes to a dragon killing training.
Yeah, he's like, all right, son. His dad's like, all right, son, I'm going to give you exactly what you've been asking me for all these years. I'm going to put you into dragon camp. He's like, oh, you know what, Dad?
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
But at the same time, he's just like, well, you're going to go into training anyway. And he goes,
Dad clearly doesn't listen.
okay.
Clearly doesn't listen.
Yeah, so he goes
a
into
lot
training.
of communication issues, clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, he goes into training. They start introducing all of the specific dragons that, we meet along the film.
Nippleback.
Look at this photograph!
Yep.
So they have like this big training sequence, but in the middle of all the training, Hiccup returns to the Night Fury, and that's when he basically starts to come closer to the dragon and realizes that maybe dragons aren't really that much of a killer as he thinks that all the Vikings are. That instead that they're kind of in defense mode, just like the Vikings are. So he basically starts getting this, compatibility. With the dragon, like a bonding, and that's where the whole scene of the hand with the look away, because he starts like feeding the dragon and like starts showing compassion
kind
towards
of just being
it.
around and feeding and bonding.
And I think we haven't really mentioned a lot of like the live action thing, but like the way that they did the live action,
honestly,
was just perfect.
So, let's talk a little bit about like who they cast, because
I got the cast up.
You got the cast up there. So who do we got for Hiccup?
So Hiccup, we have Mason Thames, which did very well.
I've never seen this actor before.
I don't think I have either, actually.
This one's a new one to me.
He did very, very well as Hiccup.
I think he actually just like played the part of Hiccup, kind of what I expected Hiccup to be like in live action.
Which apparently, we might add this into the facts here, but apparently he was
some facts,
he was the lead role in the horror film called The Black Phone. If you remember that, it's basically like this guy that kidnaps.
I remember. Who was he?
The kid.
What?
The trapped kid, apparently. I guess it says.
How long was The Black Phone? Because that was
2022, 3 years ago. So I don't know.
Hey yo, how old is this kid?
It said
is this kid actually like as old as
the lead film? So
oh wow,
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I retract my previous statement. Black Phone. Good film.
It's a very good film.
Yeah.
We have Nico Parker, who played Astrid. So Nico Parker.
I do know her. She
Yeah.
was in the first episode of The Last of Us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yep. So she played Astrid. Gerard Butler, obviously, as
Hard out to
Stoic.
Pedro Pascal, by the way. I
Yeah.
love that man.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Just
Yes.
a quick little shout out.
Yeah. So Gerard Butler.
Gerard
obviously.
Butler is Gerard Butlering right now for us as a big old Viking,
Yeah.
just badass.
Got Nick Frost for Gobber.
Right, Nick Frost. What the fuck? I mean, I love it. It's great.
I know, it's great.
Hell yeah.
Julian.
He actually did really good as Gobber. I think.
He did really well.
Yeah.
I feel like he fit the role very well.
Yeah.
Julian Dennison as Fish Legs.
Yeah, I do know him. Yeah,
Yep.
because he was in Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the second one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Fire Fist.
And then Gabriel Howell as Snotlout.
Mhm. I'm trying to remember if I've seen him anywhere. I don't know. Not off the top of my head, at least.
Bronwyn James as Roughnut. Let me see here. Harry, oh boy, Trevaldwin as Toughnut. There you go.
Mm.
And then I think that's pretty much like the main.
It's kind of the main.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main group here. So.
No, who played Toothless?
Who played Toothless?
Who was Toothless?
Toothless as Toothless.
Yeah. It's just himself.
He's just himself. But yeah, those are the actors that pretty much played the main. I would say the main cast. I would say.
Honestly, they all did pretty good.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think they kind of did what they had to, and yeah, they played their roles perfectly.
But yeah, so kind of like back to the story.
Yes.
Is that basically Hiccup forms the bond between him and the dragon called Toothless.
Mhm.
Spoiler.
Well,
I mean, we can't.
Great-
We got.
great spoiler,
Yeah.
right? His name's Toothless.
Oh no!
Right.
Yeah, so he forms the bond. During the training, Astrid starts to take note. She's like, something's kind of weird with Hiccup because he starts gaining popularity.
Because at this point, we're like, everybody's like, oh, Astrid, she's gonna be the one to get the rank of like what, first Slayer.
First Slayer.
Where you get to like kill the dragon
Your
in front
first
of
dragon,
like your
yeah.
first dragon in front of everybody in the community, essentially. That's kind of like what they're training up to be like full on Vikings, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And then, like, at the same time, Hiccup is learning all these secrets
Mhm.
that the dragons have. Basically, all like the itch spots, or like the hatred towards eels.
yeah,
I
specifically
guess.
eels. They just don't like.
They
eels.
just don't like eels. So he's learning all these like specific things that can like.
Their little mannerisms.
Yeah,
Little traits about
yeah.
the dragons. Yeah.
And so that's how Hiccup downs all the dragons, where it's not really like violent
Mhm.
against them. He's just like learning tricks about them.
Yeah.
So in
It's
a
like
way,
actually spending time with somebody, you get to learn somebody.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
they're about.
yeah, basically,
Instead of just like judging them by the way they look.
yeah, which I think is a big message about like the movie. I feel like.
And it's just. Anyway.
But yeah, eventually Hiccup starts to become like the lead guy, and he's just like, oh, okay, everybody's happy because he used to be like the screw up of the village, and Stoic comes back from a dragon hunting party.
Yeah, so he was gone for a few weeks.
Yeah, because he's trying to find the dragon nest, and he comes back and he's just like, what?
My son did that?
Hiccup, the number one
He's not. What?
in training? Nah.
And then all of a sudden he's like a proud father.
Yeah.
Like, oh, when you
Yeah.
sucked, I didn't really like you that much, but now,
Yeah.
hey, now we have something to talk about, man.
And then they sit down. They're like,
So,
yeah. And then that awkward like moment, which they also nailed
Listen.
very well.
I don't got, that kind of relationship with my father to speak of, but I do know an awkward moment. Trying to have a conversation with somebody that you don't really have that groundwork
Yeah.
even laid out, really, because it's just been a lot of just this.
Oh, we've all had plenty of that where it's just like,
I've had some variations of that in my time.
yeah. So they have that awkward moment, and when
It was
comes,
weirdly sweet though when he was like showing out
Yeah.
the little like
Yeah.
helmet made of his like mom's breastplate.
matching pair. I forgot
Thanks.
about that until he said it.
Thanks,
He says
Dad.
like, "Here's your helmet." And this is like, "Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it was your
okay,
mother's breastplate, matching pair."
Oh, right.
He's like, "Okay, that's weird." But yeah, when it comes to it, yeah, Hiccup is like, actually, guys, dragons are actually a lot similar to us. Where, like what I said before, they were more of on the defense. Maybe they're just trying to like survive, just like the rest of us. And everybody's like, "Boo! No, you suck!" And then basically he, I think he gets attacked by like the really big fiery dragon, and then Toothless comes in to save him. And that's when he makes his big speech.
Because he was essentially trying to like calm the dragon in front of everybody, and then Stoics just watching.
Stoic gets really
what is this?
mad.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Just like slams his like hammer or axe.
Yeah, and that's what causes the big commotion.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
Toothless is like, my homie.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Oh, which by the way, at this point, Hiccup and Toothless have been kind of like doing like the dragon riding scenes, which were very cool.
Incredible, actually.
And Astrid also finds out because
that is true. Yeah, because then she takes the side of Hiccup because she gets taken on a magical ride.
Yeah. Because at first she's just like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
This kid was like literally the very bottom
of the food chain.
I was supposed to be like up here, and now like it feels like everything's
Reversed,
shifted.
yeah.
Like her whole world got turned upside down, and she's just like, "What is this guy's
Like,
deal?"
no, this can't be right. And then she's like, "You're friends with the dragon?"
And he's like, "Okay, I can't tell you or explain this to you properly. Let me show you." And that whole
And
scene.
then just like,
yeah,
basically.
basically.
Yeah.
All right, Dragon time.
Dragon's okay. But yeah, and then Stoic is just like, "Nah, you're not my son." And then he like, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Whew, okay, that hit
yeah,
hard."
they
And then yes,
like that affected me.
well, it's,
Yeah.
no comment. But yeah, so then Stoic goes off, and he actually chains up Toothless. He puts him on board. He's like, "Okay, you're going to lead me to the dragon's nest," which actually does end up happening. They actually end up going to the actual like dragon mountain. It's like a volcano, basically.
Bit of context: Hiccup and Astrid did mind up finding the nest.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where they saw the whole like
On the dragon ride.
the
basically.
dragon ride. They found like all these dragons bringing offerings to the super mega kaiju dragon. And when the offering wasn't satisfactory, kaiju dragon just went on dragons.
Yeah, basically. And it was like a mega dragon.
Oh, yeah.
The size of a mountain. So, like, no joke. It was like
We'll
the
get
size
to
of
that in
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, but like just like when you see the size of the head just itself, where it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like. But yeah, so Stoic's off trying to get that, and then Hiccup's like, "Okay, well, bad news. So we got no ships. We got nothing to go after them. But hey, my dad's in trouble. He has no idea what he's up against. So what do we do instead? We gather all the trainees, and they start bonding with each of their own dragons. The ones that they basically fought during training, and they're like at first, but then as soon as Hiccup's like, "Hey,
think
guess
about
what?"
how crazy that is from like the dragon perspective, right? Where you were just captured, thrown into these cages against your will, used as training dummies,
Yeah.
and then the second that the Vikings, your captors need you for something, they just like give you a few scritches,
Yeah.
maybe some fish, and you're like, "Oh, you know what? It's cool.
We're good.
it's all right."
I think it's more of just like the personal bond.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. But
It's
also,
a movie. It's a
also-
movie.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. So basically, the trainees are like, "Okay, well, we got our own dragons." They start flying to the direction of the mountain.
Like, yeah, I want to ride a dragon. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be amazing.
You kidding me?
Like even when like during that whole training sequence of Hiccup and Toothless, like flying through the mountains, I'm just like, oh, why can't there be dragons? Why can't we ride dragons?
There could be a number of reasons why we can't have
I know,
dragons.
I know, like,
But yeah, it would be fucking sick.
just like the way they presented it was just like
Hell yeah.
phenomenal,
Just big dogs,
pretty much.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and so they reach the mountain, and Stoic leads the Vikings towards the mountain, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're Vikings. We're gonna fight the dragon!" And they burst open a hole into the mountain. A bunch of dragons come flying out, and they're like, "Ah!" And they're like,
Yay!
"Hey, a victory!"
We won.
And then the big dragon comes out, and they're like,
Oh no, we didn't win.
"We should probably run away," because this is the size of.
No, they didn't try to run. They actually tried to fight the dragon at first.
That's true.
They did try to fight the kaiju.
With like
Because they're
catapults
Vikings.
and stuff.
Yeah, so like,
I know.
just
yeah.
launch everything we got at it.
Yeah. Once that didn't work, then they were like,
Shit, what the hell are we gonna do? We just burn down all our boats. There's no way off this island now.
and then that's when
The heroes arrive.
the actual heroes arrive, and they're like, "Aha, we come with dragons."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna fight dragons against this dragon." And they're like, "Dude, what?" They're all like confused. They're like, "We fought these guys. What are you're riding them now?"
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they come in, swoop in, start like poking the eyes of the like.
Oh yeah,
he's
they
just
had,
like
the hammer.
like slamming the eyes. I'm like, yeah, that would hurt actually.
Yeah, no, it's not loud. Yeah.
And
that's where his dad actually notices him, because like the entire
Yeah.
movie, this movie is definitely centered around like a father-son relationship.
Absolutely,
Not really, kind of
yeah.
dysfunctional. Yeah, it's not lots. That also is just like, don't touch me or talk to me in public.
Don't talk to me in public. It was like, dang, that's
Like-
terrible. Like, oh man.
Hiccup has it bad. Snella has it a lot worse.
I think he does. I think he does.
Um,
Because he does. His father doesn't even like,
doesn't even acknowledge him.
until he starts battling the biggest dragon ever, and he's just
Right.
like, "Oh, I do have a son."
Wow.
Yes, of course you do.
Wow.
But yeah, so eventually, Toothless gets unchained, not by Hiccup, but by
Stoic.
Stoic.
Because Stoic's been watching how the kids, and especially his son, are kind of like trying to combat this like massive threat.
Yeah.
And so he sees Hiccup struggling to bust out Toothless. Toothless starts to sink, and then Stoic pulls his son, because his son's basically like drowning, trying to get Toothless out of the cage. Stoic dives back into the water, breaks the cage with his bare fucking hands,
Because he's Stoic.
because that's just
Yeah.
Gerard Butler
That's
being
just-
the most Gerard Butler.
Actually, I mean, really, it is. So.
And manages to free Toothless. Hiccup immediately is like, okay, we got stuff to do. And so it's just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that you're my son.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and it's a complete swap.
complete 180
Yeah.
on the character. And you know what? Hey,
Good.
if you manage to get your dad to say he's sorry, honestly, a win's a win. I'm doing
And
it.
also the whole thing of I'm proud that you're my son.
That too. That's like,
Yes.
oh,
That's a
it's a great feeling.
yeah. It's no comment.
It's a great feeling.
Again.
But yes, continue.
Yes, at that point. So Hiccup then decides to basically charge in with Toothless. Pretty much at the lead there. And, he uses Toothless' unique ability, I feel like, of, like, speed and also his unique breath, his fire. And it, like, burns through, like, the wings of the big dragon because they're like, oh, well, if this is a dragon, it's got wings, that means it can fly.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can take it up all the way up into the clouds.
Yeah, and this is where we get that shot of like the dragon literally just barreling through mountains.
Yeah. And
Golly, man. Seeing that shit live action is seeing it on like the mind you, animation side of everything, basically the exact same movie. But seeing that shit live action, even if it's like
Scary.
that's a fucking terrifying thing to see.
And especially when it was like breathing fire through the clouds.
Yeah,
And it was like
it just
I was like,
gouts, torrents.
oh wow.
It's crazy.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
But so they burn through the wings of the dragon, and then as soon as it's like kind of like faltering a little bit, they're like, okay, now it's time to dive back down into.
They went up as high as they could.
As high as they could, and then now they're like that, and it was just barely where they like the big jaw of the big dragon was like inches away. Turns around, breathes like the big mega
Yeah.
purple fire.
Because as these like dragons start to like breathe fire, they kind of have like a gas, I guess, that they produce.
I think so.
And then they have like a little kind of like a spark that turns it into
igniter,
like
yeah.
a whole flamethrower, essentially.
Yeah.
Flamethrowers with wings.
Yeah.
In that moment, Hiccup and Toothless just like turn at the last second before the dragon releases its flame. Little explosion in the jaws, and they manage to kind of just fly away. And Dragon's noticing, oh wait, I'm coming down really fucking fast to the earth now.
Yeah.
Tries to slow down with its wings, but guess what? You got a lot of holes in your wings right now.
Yeah.
That shit just rips open.
Yeah. Yeah. Plummets. Explosion.
Big old explosion from Dragon Head. Blah.
Yeah. So.
And that's where we get like the victory, like, oh sweet, yeah, we did it, yo, we did it.
Frodo! And then it's just.
Whap! Fucking Hiccup gets hit on the head by the enormous fucking tail of this thing.
Yeah.
And gets knocked unconscious and starts to fall down.
Yeah.
And that's where Toothless
Dies. No. There is no part 2.
There is no second movie. They took some liberties with the ending.
That would be so sad.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that'd be a terrible ending.
But yeah,
He does not die.
he does not die, but there was like a moment where they're like, oh god, no.
You know,
he's
hold
dead.
your breath.
You know?
Yeah.
He's good.
But yeah,
fine.
they both survived.
Stoic is like on the verge of tears. His son's
Yeah.
okay. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, wait, hey, Hiccup. He's
Hooray.
he
saved us
great.
all. Yeah.
And that's where Nick Frost is just like, well, not all of them.
Nice.
And we got a scene of.
The next day or
The next
the
day,
next week
basically.
or something.
Oh yeah, yes, he was out for a while.
He was out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then he wakes up in bed and he's like, oh hey, I'm alive. And then he like tries to like step onto the ground. He's like,
Oh,
got a
gotcha.
pirate leg.
Wow. All right. This is my life now.
Yeah, which is actually pretty like. I feel like it would be like very like in the moment like shocking.
Yeah,
Like,
just going out of your bed to see that you're missing a leg.
Yeah, but then like also at the same time,
Part of your leg.
if you're Hiccup in that moment, it makes sense because I'm like, oh, dude,
Given
like
everything that he did
Exactly.
to come out on top,
yeah,
this was
with nothing,
the best case scenario.
with like no injuries, no nothing, like man,
injuries, you know.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you came out with it like no injuries, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you are the luckiest guy alive. So
That would have been unbelievable if he came out unscathed, you know?
You know,
losing a leg is like, oh no.
it's not a
That's
fictional. It's not a fictional story or
Yeah,
anything.
no. That's how Vikings do, you know? Battle scars, you know?
Which is crazy because like earlier in the story they're like, oh, you can't get out of like a Viking battle without a scar. You know, they
Oh yeah, something about that. Yeah, they're like
something
oh.
with like without
They're
an
like,
injury
oh,
or you know.
yeah, well, like they're doing the training camp when they're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's only fun if you come out with a few scars.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like that, and
It was
Hiccup's just
like-
like he was like scared of it, and he actually ends up losing like the bottom half of his leg.
Yeah, just like a little bit below the knee.
Yeah. So I mean, it could have been worse.
Oh yeah,
It could have been his whole leg.
Yeah,
So
could have been his whole,
his
all of it.
all of it. But then yeah, and then ending. I don't really want to tell the ending.
Well, the ending's, you know, kind of just, yeah, happily ever after.
Dragons take over.
As they should.
The ending is actually a unity of humans and dragons.
Yeah, where they're like, yeah, you know, this my home, this Burke, you know,
Make your nest here.
lot of things here and there were a little weird, but you know, the cool thing is that we got, you know, pet dragons.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so, and then it like not contradicts. It contrasts with like what he says in the beginning, where he's like, "Oh, we have these pests. We have these things that are really annoying called dragons."
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, we're like, "We got these really cool things. We got these awesome pets called dragons."
Yeah.
So it really like shifts the view.
Yeah, the world, like essentially his whole view on the world with like these dragons now completely changed now.
Yeah. So basically, the dragons are living with the people of Burke now. So the
And now
Vikings are no longer
Dragon riders.
dragon riders instead of dragon hunters.
Which honestly, the coolest possible way to do it.
Mhm.
Dragon hunting,
Yeah.
dragon riding.
So yeah, that's basically the premise, I would say, of How to Train Your Dragon. There's obviously a lot of things in between, character development, a lot of jokes, a lot of really cool fight scenes.
So, since we've seen both the animated and the... I guess we're going into the questions part, right?
Yeah. I was going to say we'll go into the questions, or we can go into trivia.
Good.
Because we got trivia, too.
I got a question that I'm probably going to forget, but it's fun, because we got trivia.
Well, you can ask it right now.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
All right.
Let's go. Let's just keep it rolling.
Okay. So, since it's been a while for our episodes, we go into our fantastic facts and where to find them. And I just remembered it literally tonight what it was called.
I completely forgot what it was called.
So basically,
I completely forgot that we had that segment.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, we do have that. We basically go into some trivia stuff that we got from IMDb because that's our reliable source for movies, which is true because IMDb has a lot of stuff on movies.
It's kind of what most people look at.
It's basically everything about movies.
Yeah.
So we'll read into some facts here, some stuff that a few of them that I've seen, but also a few of them I haven't. So I'll just probably scroll through and see.
I haven't seen any of these, so I'm going to be surprised.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, the number one thing is that Gerard Butler reprised his role as Stoic.
Wait, you're telling me that was Gerard Butler?
Can you believe that?
Crazy.
And this film was back in 2010.
The Phantom of the Opera, y'all. Watch it.
Great movie, which we'll probably end up covering eventually.
Oh God, how the fuck haven't we? All right,
because it's an amazing,
before I get more upset, continue.
But yeah, just thinking about it, was 2010, so that's 15 years ago. Was this original film?
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
what?
Don't tell me how old
15
I am.
years.
I would have. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, no, that's not right.
That was
5 years, you mean? No, 15 years.
I thought it was like maybe 10 or 12. I didn't think 15.
So that's absolutely crazy. Another one here. The director here, Dean DeBlois. I think that's how you would say it, DeBlois, right?
Yeah.
I would say so. He
I'm
mentioned
sorry
that mentioned that Universal Studios wanted the remake to tell the same story. So, because a lot of remakes are...
Yeah.
So the director stated that Universal informed him regarding the remake. We want that story, but bring every embellishment you can to it. Let's explore the mythology, deepen the characters, and make it more mature. Let's lean into the action and make it more visceral and immersive. So basically they wanted it to be like, okay, we love your story, and we're going to keep it the same, but we're going to get more in-depth with everything.
Okay, so we're just going to take everything, like, a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, it's like adding a little bit more seasoning to your steak.
Yeah, basically.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah, and the director decided to direct his first live-action movie.
Wow.
Because he didn't want someone else to adapt his work.
That's honestly very fair and valid. I totally get that.
So he says, if we are going to do it, I want to be involved because I know where the heart is. Yeah. I know these characters and this world.
The heart!
The heart! Yeah.
First we attack his heart.
And he says that he expressed his desire to take charge of this one to preserve its integrity and pay tribute to the fans.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Oh, man. It was... Oh.
You gotta respect the man. He's just like, you know what? I made this thing. I don't want there to be a project like this, live action, without my involvement. So I'm gonna just do it because I know what the fuck I need this to be.
Well, absolutely, because he was the one that made the original. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Makes sense. How the hell are you gonna do Lord of the Rings without Peter Jackson?
Exactly.
How the hell were you gonna do The Hobbit
without Peter Jackson?
Without Peter Jackson.
Which they tried and it didn't work out. So. I mean, at the same time, what was it? Guillermo.
Del Toro.
Yeah. He originally was going to do that the trilogy,
but he had like his own.
But he had his own other projects, and Peter Jackson's like, okay, I'll do it.
I guess I'll do it. That would have been an interesting take. Guillermo's take.
I think so. It would have been more like fantastical, whimsical.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am kind of curious what that would look like, but anyway.
Another one here is Mason Thames, the guy who played Hiccup. He traveled to London for his audition because he is actually the only, I guess, or one of the few American actors. The rest were from like England and Ireland and Scotland.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah,
Good
which
casting.
actually makes sense.
Mm.
So after 2 weeks, he assumed that he actually didn't get the role, and then he received just a simple email for him to hop on a call with the director to discuss it. And when Mason Thames thought the call would just end up to a rejection, the director's like, actually,
Yes, I'm gonna call you to say you didn't get the part.
because the director was like, actually, we just have one question for you. Do you want to play Hiccup in our movie? He's just like, yes.
He's like, yeah.
And he said that he jumped out of his chair and accidentally broke his light in excitement. He noted that it was a very special moment, and he shared it with his family.
That's so sweet.
I love it
Honestly,
so
and,
much.
and what a role to be a part of.
Right?
A project like that. Right?
Iconic role too, because so many people
In
know.
which, mind you,
Hiccup.
I really like Black Phone. I was going to be curious about what these kids in that movie would have gone off to do.
It's true. There you go.
It was quite, and yeah, here's one that was
There's
like,
one.
it's pretty good.
That's very good.
It's a very good
Because
movie.
at first I was like, kind of like, ooh, because Hiccup's a very like notable character.
Yeah.
Like the way that he acts and talks. I'm like, oh boy,
Mannerisms, yeah.
he nailed it.
He did really good.
Oh, he did very good. Another one here is that this is the first official live-action adaptation of a DreamWorks animation feature.
Shit.
Yeah, right. it's all been like Disney this, Disney that.
You're right.
This is the first DreamWorks one. I'm like, oh,
They actually did live action adaptations good.
Yeah. Maybe Disney needs to learn from that. I don't
Listen.
know. I'm just saying.
We gotta keep it a buck. Snow White, there's a reason why that thing didn't stay in theaters and went directly to Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Not to say anything bad about the actors or actresses.
It was
or
more the
people like that.
adaptation.
It was just,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is the crazy thing is I haven't even watched the movie, but I already knew exactly what was gonna happen.
I heard a lot about the reviews. I'm like,
but
just wait until they do Shrek live action. Because
I don't even know. Nah.
That's a DreamWorks film.
Listen,
oh, boy.
the track record is good so far. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they should just stop with that. So.
Well, I don't know. Who's to say they won't make Dragons 2? You know.
Well, yeah, absolutely. There's 3 How
I
to
know,
Train Your
but,
Dragon movies.
Do you think they're actually going to continue with that direction with the live action?
They would. I think they would have to because of the actors and their age.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Because they would have to do like consecutive movies,
They would probably
then
have to Lord of the Rings it.
yeah. But I don't know.
It really depends on how it does in the box office, right?
Well, right now they're doing phenomenal.
That's
so
true.
I mean, like,
That's true.
yeah. But anyway, we'll go into a different one here. Different fact.
Give me another.
So, Gerard Butler's mother, Margaret, actually fell ill during production in Belfast. So he would go back to Scotland for most of the weekends to be with her.
Oh, that's sweet.
However, she did pass away in February of this year, 2025, at 81 years old. Butler, who grew up without a father, shared how touched he was that the director had paid tribute to her at the end of the live-action remake of the animated franchise, and he says, I was so excited for her to see it, but I had a feeling she wouldn't. So Dean very kindly dedicated the movie to her. So
Man, that's really sad to hear, though.
yeah.
But
So it's sad, but like also
it's a nice gesture.
man, like you can tell like the director was just so like involved in the story, but also involved with everybody that was involved in it, and like see, that's a good guy.
And not only that, but like because clearly they've worked on that project together because he directed the movie with Gerard Butler being stoic. Probably had like those kinds of moments of like interaction, like getting to know like who you're working with, and
Yeah.
it is a sad thing to hear that Gerard Butler didn't get the chance to like show his grandmother. That film.
Yeah.
It
That
is
would have been
really
perfect.
a really nice gesture though on the part of the director.
Yeah.
To have her, mentioned.
Yeah. And so Gerard Butler actually says this too. He says that since I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. If Stoic had a mom, that would have been my mom. She was an amazing woman, but she was strong, she was fiery, and she was graceful, and she was beautiful. When I saw the movie, I noticed that I had put more of my mother than of myself into that role.
Wow.
It's so sweet. Oh, I love it so much. I'm like, oh yes. Oh.
I do love it when,
because it really is all about like family bonding for that movie.
and I like
even,
that they carried those themes not just for the film, but also like outside, like during the production of it too.
Yeah.
They actually had that like really be a central part, which kind of tells you like the work environment must have been pretty
inclusive.
pretty
Not
inclusive.
inclusive,
Well,
but just like friendly. I
really
guess.
good. Yeah.
Another one is like what I said before is that the cast were British, Irish, Scottish, and Kiwi. Mason Thames is the only American actor in the film. So, interesting. So Kiwi is basically New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Not New Zealanders?
No, it's Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Yeah. Which I think like the bird itself, Kiwi, comes from New Zealand or Australia. I think around that time. Or land.
Kiwi.
But I think Kiwi, the actual bird, comes from New Zealand. I think that's why they.
You see,
I don't know.
and that's
the national bird or something like that.
And that's the nice thing about these facts. You come out with a little bit more knowledge. I did not know that it was kiwi.
Yeah, I know.
I knew about kiwis.
Like
I love eating kiwi, like the fruit.
The fruit, yeah.
I knew about the bird.
Not the bird.
Did you know like the birds, the eggs are almost like the size of their bodies? Like
See,
when they lay them.
I didn't know that either.
I knew that because of Casual Geographic.
Oh, okay.
And I think also like Animal Planet too.
Yeah,
but Casual Geographic.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Great guy.
But yeah, and I'll do just a couple more here. One of them here is Mason Thames was actually a huge fan of the character Hiccup, and he actually dressed up as the character for Halloween once when he was younger. So he literally got to be the guy that he enjoyed seeing on film, and then all of a sudden now he is the guy.
Yeah, because if we're talking like 15 years ago, like we would have been just out of a little bit, like we were in high school. Yeah.
15 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, we were in high school. Just entering.
In just entering high school for us.
Jeez.
Yeah, for us. Because we're both 29.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, 14. So. Yikes! I mean, I think I probably would have dressed up as Hiccup around that time.
Well, here's the thing too. The crazy, because I knew that was gonna be like a pretty big movie. I didn't realize how far that movie was gonna go. Because like over the 15 years that it's released, like seeing how far, like it's got
it's
like
gained
3
a lot
movies,
of popularity.
3 movies, right?
3 movies.
A TV series.
Yeah.
Probably like I don't know however number of like video game adaptations and the merchandise.
Yeah.
Is everywhere.
All based on a book, by the way. So, yeah, there you go. Books go a long way.
Book adaptation success once again.
Well, you look at Frozen 2. That was from a book adaptation
that
too.
I didn't know.
And that was great. It was all elemental stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's great stories. But anyway, I could go on about book adaptations. Anyway,
you should probably check out his other projects. And with Arda.
Oh yeah, Exploring Arda.
Exploring Arda. You know it.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I just read a bunch of Tolkien's stories.
And he also did an album.
Couple.
2 whole albums, man.
3 actually.
Check 3 whole albums.
Yeah. He's working on a 4th.
He's working on number 4. It's happening. Check it.
Check it out. Check my channel out. I would appreciate it, which I don't really get a lot, but
If you took the time to listen to this up to this point, please check it out.
True.
In fact, I would be very grateful.
Yeah, all 2 people who are listening to this.
And hey, thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, we'll go on to our last fact.
Our last fact,
which is funny enough. The film was released June 13, 2025. Exactly. It says exactly 11 years after How to Train Your Dragon How to Train Your Dragon 2 of 2014 was released. So it was like basically like a exact date from the second How to Train Your Dragon.
That was
2014.
That was graduation. Yeah.
2014. Yeah.
That was graduation. Yeah. Wow.
Dang. But yeah, so I guess they decided to kind of just go right on the dot. And you're like, okay, which makes sense, I guess. So
that is really cool.
I guess you know what? Let's do one more fact because there is one more
bonus fact.
Bonus fact, dang!
Bonus.
Because this is bonus. This is from Mason Thames again.
Oh, okay.
So he says that he revealed he always had a special connection to the original movie, 2010 movie. He says that this was my childhood, growing up with these movies. The fact that I get to be a part of this world and do this is insanity to me. I remember when I watched the first movie as a kid, there was so much wonder and magic in it. I loved everything about it, especially Toothless because he's so cute.
Yeah, I think... So the real cool thing about the design of Toothless is he can be so cool and also be extremely like adorable, right? He can be like this deadly thing, but also this thing you want to cuddle and just like hang out with.
Absolutely.
So
he also says that Hiccup as a character, he was my hero growing up. There's so much about him that I could relate to. Especially my journey becoming an actor reminded me a lot of Hiccup. All he wanted was a Viking. And in his village, they looked down on him and cast him out. Once that Hiccup accepted he was different and realized he was different, that's where he truly became Hiccup. I related to him a lot.
wow.
So, I guess that's why they chose him specifically.
Yeah, that theme also on top of the other themes that were in the movie.
Yeah. Just being
accepting
yourself.
and being yourself.
Yeah.
Finding yourself, accepting yourself, and then finally being yourself.
I think the acceptance part is just like the hardest, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially for like in this movie where everybody else is like, no, you have to be this way. And he's just like, but I'm not.
Yeah, he's not though.
But then like, what,
well,
like
the thing is, like, he was trying so hard to be like them. And then when he finds out that he isn't, that's when he's just like, okay, now I need to figure out like where I fit in with this. And then he just is basically just, again, accidentally and just like clumsily finding a way until it just like has this major growth and arc for his character.
And then he proves everybody wrong. And it's just like, well, guess what? Dragons are the good guys after
Dragons
all.
are actually cool as fuck.
And that's
crazy.
And that's where the second film comes in. Yeah. So, and then, we'll talk about that in a different episode because that's a whole different story. And the other two films, like animated, the other two films are just phenomenal too. Because I remember watching the third one with my wife a few years back. Because I was like, wow, they're still making these movies. Right? And we were surprised too. And we watched it. Oh man, it was incredible.
You see why it's still...
Yeah. Oh, it's still like relevant. It was incredible. And my wife was crying.
It's kind of
like,
she was great.
Yeah, well, she cries with a lot of movies, so I'm like, I mean, it was a good film. I didn't cry, but like, it was a good film.
I do cry.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah.
And that's an okay thing.
It is. It is an okay thing. Like, as a guy, you're okay to cry. So.
Yeah, no, the thing I wanted to say was the way that this film gained like such popularity and traction and has stayed for so long is kind of giving me the same vibes with like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Because like Kung Fu Panda 1, awesome film.
Amazing.
Kung Fu Panda 2, wow, we really brought it up a notch. Kung Fu Panda 3, we did. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. I love number 2 a lot. Okay, I'm just like a really big fan of number 2.
Very good.
I'm a huge Gary Oldman fan. Okay.
It makes sense.
It's hard. But J.K. Simmons though for number 3. Bro,
I didn't expect that.
Nobody.
I
don't think I could have ever.
Anybody did, really.
Like,
and
it's
then
already a very star-studded cast.
Fourth
one? I don't think I saw the fourth one.
I don't think I've seen the fourth
that
one.
That one's with the chameleon, right?
I think so. Yeah. I haven't seen it. So.
I need to check that one out.
Yeah. But yeah, 1 through 3, very good.
Great.
And hey, I think that's DreamWorks too, isn't it? Or no?
Was it?
Kung Fu Panda?
Maybe.
I think it was.
It feels very DreamWorksy.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised, but
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if this is like you know when you have like a memory and you don't know if it's like something that you made up in your head or it actually happened.
yeah.
I think I saw a DreamWorks logo with like a panda fishing instead.
I would probably see that. Yeah, maybe
Maybe.
he's just going like that.
Yeah.
the silhouette.
Something like that. You're just like,
Yeah,
oh. And
And
then
then
like
just-
fishes.
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe it's probably in one of them.
Yeah,
So-
the mind is a weird thing. Anyway,
Do you have any questions?
do I have any questions?
Yeah,
You know, I think I did.
regarding How to Train Your Dragon.
I think I did. So, as I'm remembering my question, since we've seen both versions,
Yeah.
what did you like between the two? Were there certain things that you saw that were kind of like, oh, this looks really cool to get to see live action? Were there certain things that you saw was like, oh, this kind of didn't
Gotcha.
translate as well?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, for me personally,
Yeah.
I love how they stuck to the original plot and the story.
Yes, we
Yeah,
both
I'm
agree.
like, yes, I feel like that's like the main part, like the major part of why everybody loved it is because it was the same story. There wasn't any deviations, nothing else. It was just we're going to the story.
And I am a firm believer that if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, basically, and that's why everybody loved the first film because it was such a solid story, you know. That's for me. That's why I absolutely love it. That's just me. A very very cool thing was the final dragon fight that we got to see with like they did such a good job with like the terror of
Seeing
the
something that's like
enormous
huge.
dragon.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yikes!
I kind of like Jackie Chan a little bit there.
No, but like just like what I mentioned earlier with like the big flames going into like the clouds and they're like this ginormous dragon that like they really like scaled that dragon up and it was just like they did such
Just to
a
really
good job.
make you see like that,
Just the
the
dread.
terror and
Yeah.
like dread of seeing something just this colossal
Yeah.
take flight and just
Yeah, I absolutely love
layaways.
that. And then like for me, I'm like, man, the soundtrack, the music.
And they basically
Oh,
kept a lot of
man.
the old.
It was so good. I loved it. I searched it up on the
Oh, you did?
on my music app that I have, and I put it in my download. I'm just
2025
like,
version.
yes! And so I listened to it at work, and I'm just like, yes, this is so
Good stuff.
amazing.
I love it when a movie just like gets you a soundtrack
It
that like hooks
does.
you.
So like, cause like there was a couple moments where it was like, so the best feeling that I had in that movie was when Hiccup was basically like training himself to ride Toothless, and it was that like the music that makes you feel like you're flying. You know,
Yeah, like you're
flying
really just like going through. Yeah.
with like all the orchestra, the violins, and like I'm like, oh man, this is so
I think
incredible.
for me, and I remember what I did actually when I was in the theater. So like, while my sister was kind of just like laid back and everything.
Yeah.
I was kind of like doing this thing where I just kind of started to be all like, I don't know, I just started being like really just like locked
really
in
like immersed,
and
like
immersed into the movie. And I think where that really happened was when he was doing the flying with Astrid.
yeah.
That's where I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. This is what I wanted to see live action.
Absolutely.
And then
It was,
all these shots of the clouds and also
Yeah.
going to see the northern lights.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That was
Oh man. I just
was
feel
really
like they just did such a great job with just the
The
visuals.
visuals,
Oh
yeah.
man, it
Visuals were
translated
really good.
so well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the only thing that I feel like they kind of was like, why was because like Astrid in the animated film, if I remember correctly, it was like super blonde,
Yeah,
like super light haired. But
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's like a small detail.
but I'm like that's something that I'm like it doesn't really matter. I guess
it doesn't
I'm
really
just
take
like,
away. It doesn't really take away from anything.
I mean, Hiccup
Like,
still has a crush on her, and that's
yeah. At the end of the day, like
I guess like that's what part of the story is.
she's the baddest.
She's the
she
greatest
she
fighter.
kicks ass. She's the
Yeah.
most Vikingest Viking of their generation.
Yeah.
And she kicks ass.
yeah, because like they kept her character like
Yeah.
very like to the point where she's
Yeah.
just like she's the best warrior
Yeah.
of all the kids there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. So I'm like, other than that,
Yeah, her having blonde hair was kind of just like
Yeah. It was just like okay, maybe it's a Viking thing, but like, whatever.
It was it was more like I guess it was more of like a dirty blonde than actually blonde.
Yeah. I mean, it still had like the same like style and
yeah,
everything.
everything
so
else was
like,
basically the same.
Yeah.
I do like the costuming was actually really cool. We didn't talk about the costuming.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh, that was really cool. I feel like it was just a lot of fur coats, a lot of armor.
There was like a surprising amount of like layers kind of put on there. I really liked.
I mean, like in general.
Yeah,
like,
I really liked the way Stoic looked.
Yeah.
With Gerard Butler.
Really cool.
That was actually really good.
That was a lot of like layers, but also like very like heavy packed. Like he's just like ready and
like he's just a really big dude and just like you can tell he like lives.
His stature is just
like he just lives in this armor basically.
He lives in the power stance. He's just like
pretty
I
much.
am leader and like okay, yeah, you're leader. No, I agree because then when you look at Stoic, who's like this big burly guy with like armor and fur coats and this big battle axe, and then you see Hiccup, and he's just like, he has
like
me.
So
and he's just like
he has the essentially like the modern fantasy equivalent of like a teenage hoodie and everything.
Yeah,
because he has like his little hood. I'm just like, okay, yeah, he's a teenager. Yeah, teenagers have hoodies.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's the whole contrast between father and son.
I almost kind of wish they would have actually used the hoodie because like if you see him have it, he never puts it up.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Right?
I could totally see him doing that.
Oh yeah.
Too though.
Just like when he's just like
maybe he's like when he's trying to like hide from the other kids, he just goes and just like sneaks away.
Yeah, that would be my one thing. Like if they had one scene of that, him doing just be like
a hood.
Angsty, just a little angsty teen, like a little bit, like but overall, I mean
overall
movie
phenomenal film. I feel like it was the best adaptation that I've seen.
Live action.
I would have to live action.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any.
For me personally, I feel like a lot of people were saying that Lilo and Stitch were good, but we haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I haven't heard.
But
I've been hearing a little bit of mixed reviews.
I've heard mixed reviews about that too. So I'm like, well, so far this one, How to Train Your Dragon, they knocked it out of the park. So good job.
Hey, DreamWorks.
Keep doing what you do.
You keep on keeping on.
Keep working on those dreams.
Yep. Yeah. Damn it. I think I was gonna say something like that, and you beat me to it. Fuck.
No. Yeah. So we'll get into our quick reviews. So we'll do like a 1 out of 10. How did you like this movie? And I'll say as a new segment, next segment, what are your top 3 reasons of why you enjoyed this movie?
Oh God, putting me on the spot with that shit. Okay. So
1 out of 10. Right. How would you rate this movie?
Yeah, basically 9. I'd say. 9. Yeah, 9's great.
Nice.
Just because of that hoodie.
Number 1, the hoodie.
So 9.9 if such a thing existed.
We can go by points.
Yeah, because it's pretty much the exact same film. Slightest variations, but like more. I guess it was a little bit more actiony than the.
I felt like it, yeah.
Animated version. Honestly, they did a really okay. So here's one of my reasons.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of basically keeping it faithful, and I'm not just talking about like the story. There's like little shots that I remember from the animated movie that they kept in the live action. Specifically, like the little moments with Astrid and them, like being like kind of like taken against her will, and Toothless is just kind of like laughing to himself.
Oh,
like little things like that.
Yeah,
there was a little scene where when Hiccup was in trouble, like fighting the monstrous nightmare, and he's trying to like climb. You kind of get like this little cut of like him and Toothless kind of like having like the same like motion of like them like reaching and climbing. That was in the I'm pretty sure that was in the animated movie also.
I think it was.
So just little things like that I fucking loved. That they just went and took that extra. I was like, okay, keeping a lot of like the same shots,
little snippets,
and
like
just
that.
Putting it into live action form. I don't know how many reasons that is. I think that's just one.
That's an incredible.
But that's an incredible one.
Yeah.
And again, the costuming looked great. The action was phenomenal. Them keeping the story, all of that bundled together into my reasons 2 and 3.
I would say
I'll have to say.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say like literally the same reasons, because it was like 9 out of 10, kept very well to the story, and obviously Action was incredible, and just like the design of everything was just like on point. Where
Honestly,
it was just like,
what do you think it would have taken for it to be like a full-on 10 out of 10? I guess that's a better question. Right? Do you think anything was missing? Because I don't know what it is. Right? What's making me say 9 out of 10?
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's like it's hard to really pinpoint a perfect film.
Right.
Like, I mean, obviously
Right.
for me it's Lord of the Rings,
Right.
but
Do you think maybe it's because of, well, at least for me, I think, because the nostalgia of the animated film is like a little, like, I like it because that's the first one, right?
it might be because
think
like,
that's
like okay, like the adaptation of live action is incredible. It's amazing. It's amazing. But like obviously, yeah, like when you go back to like the animated version, it's
Nostalgia.
just like it's the nostalgia factor,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, I remember watching this 10 years ago, and I was like, oh wow.
If I took off my nostalgia glasses, I would probably say 10 out of 10.
Probably because
Yeah.
this was like incredible fantasy film. Like
Yeah.
if you're looking to get into fantasy, say if you're
That's
like
honestly not-
if you're
yeah.
like a first time, like watcher of
Nothing.
like, okay, I want to get into fantasy,
But don't want to get right into Lord of the Rings.
But don't want to
Which
get
is a
into
little
like
dense. It's a little dense.
you don't want to get
I
into
love it. It's a little dense for a first timer.
You don't want to get into lore and fantasy or like lore and history.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon, great film, like live action. It's like
De-
okay, you get the
definitely,
history of the island, but you also get action.
Definitely probably the way I would start the kids off with.
I
right?
think so,
Makes sense. It's made for
Yeah.
kids.
but I think that maybe that's why it's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, right.
But I feel like we're all on the same boat of the reasons.
And we're also kind of like older too, so you know.
Yeah.
What's the rating of 2 almost 30 guys, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. Who knows?
It's an opinion. Take it
Take 2
or not.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Any comments?
No.
I feel like we've
Covered
I mean,
everything.
it's over an hour, so I mean.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh God, look at us.
Yeah,
We did-
we're back to our hour-long
we did an hour.
sessions. There
Holy
you go.
shit. I didn't realize how long we were going to be doing this for.
I feel like it's because we really enjoyed the movie.
That's probably we had a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
Look at
But
us.
yeah,
It's like we never even left.
yeah. Who knows? Yeah, but yeah. So I think that's all we have for this one. I feel like so. How to Train Your Dragon, the first movie, is considered
The first
Try it
live
out.
action adaptation from DreamWorks.
yeah. So far, who knows? Next year, Shrek. No,
Maybe another 15 years will go by.
and then we go
Shrek.
Shrek. Because they made a musical on Shrek, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
I only made 10 minutes into that, and I'm like,
Really
that's enough for me. So, and that's me, and I love my musicals.
is different.
I think it's different because they try to make it serious, and I'm like, it's not supposed to be like that.
I think Shrek.
It's not supposed to be serious. Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah. So if you guys or if anybody's watching, I suppose you can
is
always.
anybody out there?
Is anybody out there? Any out there? Out there? You can always comment on any movies that we can cover, because that would be fun.
Oh yeah, we would
Any
like to get
suggestions?
some suggestions. Yeah.
That'd be really fun because I mean, we've covered a lot of movies. We started with a podcast, audio only, and then now we're on to YouTube. So just because I feel like video is very fun because we get to see each other's reactions and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
right.
I feel like it's just more fun. Like,
It is
like
also
that
kind
way.
of. I think I'm starting to have fun with like using and looking into the camera more because it does kind of feel like we have like a third someone else
an
there.
audience.
Yeah, an audience and somebody else to talk to. That's actually kind of
Yeah,
that's actually a cool little thing.
yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, just feel free to let us know, and we'll either end up covering it or we've already covered it because this is like the 60th movie that we've covered or something like that. It was
something like
we've
that.
covered a lot because it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, but
More to come.
more to come. Absolutely. Yeah. So, any other closing statements, words, messages?
Isn't this what did I used to do in these things? I used to say something like, what was it?
I don't know.
Do your laundry.
There you go. Do your laundry. You have dishes to do.
You have
You
pets to
always
feed.
have dishes to do.
There's always dishes to do. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Stay hydrated.
Do your dishes.
And stay hydrated. And
Do your dishes.
don't be fucking dumb. and yeah, just don't be an asshole. There we go.
Do your dishes.
Do more. Do good things.
Be a good person and do your dishes.
Yeah. Just don't be an asshole. That's all you gotta do.
I think that's
I think that's all we could really try to do. You know. But yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Do your dishes.
Jesus Christ. All right.